Alrighty, what is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. Just gonna get everything set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day's going well, week is going well. Just gonna get everything set up here. Hop out, chat, just in case while I do walk off or something, someone pops into chat. Share screen. Go with the Mac. Okay. Just gonna finish getting this week's episode out. For hockey fans, basketball fans, and pickleball fans, there's going to be some mentions of each sport in this week's episode. Some related to the episode, some just general notes in my life. Also, I do want to let you know I am debating doing a vlog for the Texas trip. Moses doesn't when we come down if I film stuff or not, but good chance that with the Texas trip I'll be doing a vlog for it. Okay, let's sit up. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast, episode 152. Thank you all so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. Let's get right into it. Before we get into it, actually, I wanted to actually give out a shout out to someone that actually might be watching this week's episode live, maybe not live, to my own brother, Sonny, who just participated in a pickleball tournament in Cleveland and won. Congrats to him on winning gold. Whether you're watching this episode or not, shout out to him. But anyways, let's dive into this week's episode. So today's Immaculate Grid, Yankees, A's, and All-Star is the top. And going down is Orioles, Royals, and played shortstop minimum of one game. So Yankees, Orioles. There's Brian Roberts, comes to mind. Steve Pearce comes to mind. That could be a good sneaky answer. Mike Mussina comes to mind. I'm pretty sure David Wells played for Baltimore. But I don't use Steve Pearce enough. Well, not much. I think he fits here. I'm gonna use Steve Pearce. He does fit 3%. I will take that. Orioles and Orioles and A's. What route could I go here? I don't think Jimmy Fox ever played for Baltimore. As much as he played for a whole bunch of teams. No. Did Mulder somehow sneak a year? Baltimore, or is he just A's and Cardinals? Just A's and Cardinals. Someone random just came to my mind. I'm curious if he fits this. No, but someone else just came to my mind who I think fits this. Please tell me he does, at least. Try something. Yep, Mike's still working. Good. He does indeed. Danny Valencia is who came to mind, and he absolutely. I'm clicking on the line right now. Danny Valencia fits this, and I'm going to use him. 0.5%, I will take that. Okay, Orioles All-Star. Ripken's made All-Stars. Machado's for sure made All-Stars. I imagine Palmer's made All-Star games. Murray's probably made. One guy random, I'm curious, but I doubt it. But if he did, he is a 2-time All-Star, so there's a chance. Oh, he did. J.J. Hardy was a shortstop for the Orioles for some time. I'm gonna use him. JJ Hardy. 1%, I will take that. Okay. Yankees, Royals, big answer that comes to my mind. That probably won't be the most obvious, but then again, could be a high answer. Is Billy Butler. Raul Ibanez also fits here. Carlos Beltran also fits here. Um, who else could fit? Lou Piniella, actually, I think, works here. Yes, Lou Piniella didn't just manage in baseball, he also played. I guess he's more known as manager. Yeah, Lou Piniella, let's use him. Manage for the Cubs and Mariners and Rays. 5%, I will take that. Royals and A's, Billy Butler also fits here. I'll just here. 10%. Not great, but I'll take it. Could be worse. Royals All-Star. Mm, pretty sure this dude made it once. At least. Yeah. Shortstop part of 14 and 15 Royals, Alcides Escobar. Also could have technically used him for shortstop all-star, but yeah, it works. Yankees played shortstop minimum of one game. Go D. I could go A. I imagine A-Rod probably played at least one game at shortstop in time of the Yankees, but not worth the risk. Um, hmm. I have a feeling the most obvious answer is going to be Derek Jeter. One dude I'm curious if he did. I doubt it, but I'm interested to see. Yankees would be here. No. Okay. I always forget what position this dude is, but this dude came up while I was watching a video today, so I'm curious. I feel their first base. Never mind. Also, Martin. I know he played random positions at random times. He snuck against short. Like, no. Played shortstop as a Dodger or Blue Jay, but not Yankee. What about Jorge Posada? Nope, just second base. Someone I'm curious if works for shortstop part. Never. Um. Oh, pretty sure this dude was shortstop. Infamous for a home run against the Red Sox. Bucky Dent. Yeah, 5%. I will take that. Oakland A's shortstop. I could go Marcus Simeon. I could go Jacob Wilson. I might be able to go Zach Geloff. I could go Miguel Tejada. Um, I think Chavez fits for shortstop. Uh, think Weiss would have been the shortstop for 89. If I'm right, I might take that. Their shortstop, no. There you go. Walt Weiss was a shortstop, so honestly, I'm going to use Walt Weiss, former manager, also played. A lot higher than I would have thought, but I will honestly take it. Okay. Shortstop All Star. Jeter comes to mind. A-Rod comes to mind. Carson Russell. Pretty sure made it part of 16. Yeah, he did. 0.8%. I will take that. Rarity score is 43. I did not actually. Well, I put up one of the top answers, but the rest I did not. Top answers for Yankees Orioles 35% was Mike Vicina. Top answer for A's Orioles at 35% is Miguel Tejada. Orioles All Star is Cal Ripken Jr. Royals Yankees is Aroldis Chapman. Royals A's is Johnny Damon. Ripken 13%, Chapman 15%, Johnny Damon 25%. Royals All Star at 14% is George Brett. Yankees played shortstop minimum one game at 19% is Jeter. A's played shortstop minimum one game at 15% is Walt Weiss. And played shortstop minimum one game at All Star at 6% is Ozzie Smith. So that is today's Immaculate Grid. Let's switch over to batter up and strike zone. So there's new mode of batter up going back to the 2004 season, where you have to guess who this player is from 2004. Let's try to get a gauge based on their batting stance. Off the bat, I'm not getting anything, so I'm just going to throw out random guesses to see if I can at least get idea. Kevin Youkilis, so not a Red Sox, not in the American League. Okay. Is this someone in the NL Central? No, but it is an outfielder, right fielder. Is this someone in the NL West? No, which means NL East. Is it a Brave? It indeed is a Brave. It's not Sheffield. No, okay. Wasn't even Brave at the time. Who would have right field for the 2004 Braves? Frank Core? No. Julio Franco? No. Not Andrew Jones. Also American. Chipper only played left. Sheffield was already a Yankee in 2004. And that's definitely not Sheffield's batting stance. It's not Jason Hayward. I don't think he would even be in the system yet too soon. Oh, wow, this is tough. I mean, I might as well just fire off Chipper to see, but I know it's not going to be right. Yeah, no. I was the third base at that point. It's not Upton, is it? No, BJ's Rays. Uh, Honestly, I have no idea at the moment, so I'm just gonna throw this last guess away. Oh, JD Drew. I forget he was on the Braves. All right, I'll take that L. So be it. All right, regular batter from current day. I don't think this is right, but I think it's similar. Is this Corbin Carroll? No, it's not even National League. Okay. Is this someone from the AL Central? Yes. And a left fielder, but not Cleveland. Okay. Is this going to be someone Detroit? No. Is this going to be someone from Kansas City? No. Oh, I just realized who this is. Andrew Benintendi. Yep. Clutch guess on the last guess. All right, let's see. What's today's pitcher? I can tell by that delay. That's Zach Wheeler. Bingo. All right. Well, I got batter up and I got strike zone, but not 2004 batter up. And now, as for today's daily walk off for the Braves and Yankees on these Tuesdays where I don't do all of them before the podcast, I like to save two for the podcast because I'm not going to do all 30 teams in every episode. So today, they're the same headlines for each team: 300 plus average season with the team of 300 plus at bats. Year 2010, where they had top five in stolen bases for the team. 2018, top five in stolen bases and franchise top 10 RBIs per at bat, 1,000 plus RBIs through 2023. With my options being Ozzie Albies, Fred McGriff, Gary Sheffield, Nate McLeod, Bobby Lowe, Dale Murphy, Omar Infante, Hank Aaron, Bam Rowell, Ronald Acuna, Brooks Conrad, and Dansby Swanson. So 2018, I know Albies, Acuna, and Swanson for sure. 2010, imagine Infante is going to be there, Conrad, McLeod, and the rest I'm honestly just going to keep like this, and let's see. Well, I got the stolen bases people correct, and almost everyone correct. As the top five stolen bases for 2010 year was McLeod, Conrad, Nate McLeod, Brooks Conrad, and Omar Infante. And top five stolen bases for 2018 is Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Dansby Swanson. 300 plus average season with the Braves, 300 plus at bats. Mama Rowell is correct. McGriff and Sheffield are not. The franchise top 10 RBIs per at bat, 1,000 plus RBIs through 2023. Aaron is correct. Bobby Lowe and Dale Murphy are not. So the correct answer for those categories, Lowe and Murphy go for average, and McGriff and Sheffield go for RBI per at bat. 2 turns and didn't get any outs. That is a pretty good day. Now, as for the Yankees, so my options are Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius, Ramiro Pena, Steve Sachs, Birdie Cree, Derek Jeter, Aaron Hicks, Joe DiMaggio, Brett Gardner, Wally Pitt, Babe Ruth, and Gary Sheffield. So for 2018, Hicks is for sure going to be there. Judge is going to be there. Gregorius is going to be there. 2010, Jeter's going to be there. Gardner's going to be there. I guess Ramiro Pena. I'm going to shift DiMaggio for RBIs. Let's see how this goes. And I went perfect on first try. How about that? So the correct answers were for 300 plus average season with the Yankees, 300 plus at bats, Wally Pipp, Birdie Cree, and Steve Sachs. For year 2010, top five stolen bases, Ramiro Pena, Brett Gardner, and Derek Jeter. For top five stolen bases in 2018, Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, and Didi Gregorius. And for franchise top 10 RBIs per at bat, 100,000 plus at bats through 2023, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, and Gary Sheffield. That is the daily walk-off for the two teams that I wanted to do daily walk-off for today. Had a pretty good day, I would say. And Now let's get to this week's episode of the podcast. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to start with college football with the Army-Navy game. Going in, Army was a 6.5-point favorite because they had some of the better season, and yet Navy actually managed to pull off the upset thanks to quarterback Blake Corvin going off for like 5 touchdowns and even making a school record. As with his 52-yard touchdown pass, Eli Heidenreich in I believe the second or third quarter, he is his 13th passing touchdown this season, which is tied for most passing touchdowns in a season in Navy history, tied with Ricky Dobbs in 2010 and jumping Alton Grizzard in 1990. Good for Blake Horvath and good for Navy for pulling off the upset. I mean, not a major upset, given like both teams had very good seasons this year, but nice to always see fun with the Army-Navy game. And it was pretty interesting. Not even much of the usual like RPOs. So there was a lot more like natural style play. I don't know if there was a change of coaching mindset that flipped it, but at least from the highlights I saw, because I couldn't watch it much live, given it was mostly on Shabbos. But yeah, Navy pulled off the upset. So CFP first round schedule. I made my predictions last week, but I will go back over them just so you guys can know them in case you missed it last week. About the schedule, on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC/ESPN is going to be number 10 Indiana visiting 10 seed Indiana visiting number 7 seed Notre Dame. And then Saturday is most of the games at 12 p.m. on TNT/Max is going to be number 6 Penn State hosting 6 seed Penn State hosting 11 seed SMU. At 4 p.m. also on TNT/Max will be number 5 seed Texas hosting 12 seed Clemson. And then at 8 p.m. on ABC/ESPN will be the 8th seed Ohio State hosting the 9th seed Tennessee. Just give me one moment. Let's I'm gonna reopen my predictions so I can re-go over my predictions. Nothing. So my predictions for the first round, I have Indiana winning, SMU winning, Texas winning, and Ohio State winning. We'll see how those predictions go. As to start off with my bracket predictions for the CFP, as I have Boise State winning it all. We'll see how that goes, whether that ends up being successful or not. There's a whole lot of MLB headlines to go over. A lot of big moves, some small moves here and there. But I'm going to start off with the move that was today involving the Cubs because I didn't post a reaction because I wanted to save it for this week's episode of the podcast. Cody Bellinger has been officially traded by the Chicago Cubs, along with $5 million in cash to pay off his salary, 2.5 for this year, and 2.5 either for the buyout next year or for his next year's contract. To the Yankees in exchange for right-handed reliever Cody Petit, this is also the first time two players be named Cody get traded ever in the same trade. And my reaction to this is the Cubs got fleeced. And it's not as much of like having to pay Cody Bellinger's contract that's fleeced. Like the only thing they got is a scrubby little right-handed reliever named Cody Petit. Like, really? That's all you could really get for Cody Bellinger? Like, I get he's coming off a bad season and it probably doesn't give you much way to get much in return. But just Cody Petit, like, really? Really? Is it really just worth making the trade just for Cody Petit? Like, really? I don't know. Just blew my mind. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I don't know. Just stunned. But welcome to the Yankees, Cody Bellinger. Hope it works out better for you. Anyways, though, we have a whole bunch of other moves to go over. Marlins trade Jake Burger to the Texas Rangers for Echedry Vargas, Max Acosta, and Brian Mendoza. The Marlins still collapsing more and more on what from their 2022 or not 2022, 2023 team that made the playoffs. Now another piece leaving the team, and Jesus Luzardo is now rumored to potentially be involved in a potential trade talk between the Marlins and Cubs. So he might be the next one to go. We'll see. White Sox did another version of Chris Sale 2.0, but this time with Garrett Crochet trading him to the Boston Red Sox for Kyle Teal, catcher Kyle Teal, outfielder Braden Montgomery, shortstop Chase Mayworth, and right-handed pitcher Wikelman Gonzalez. Teal was last year's draft pick. Braden Montgomery was this year's draft pick, and then I don't know much about the other two. And Crochet, they are getting a very good left-handed pitcher. We'll see if how Crochet plays out in Boston compared to Chris Sale. Will he do better? Will he do? What way to find out with this season and beyond. Yimi Garcia re-signed with the Blue Jays 2 years 15 or signs with the Blue Jays, not re-signs. 2 years 15 million. I honestly forgot I was with Seattle last year. Guardians trade second baseman Andres Jimenez and Nick Sandlin, reliever Nick Sandlin to the Blue Jays for infielder Spencer Horwitz and Nick Mitchell. Guardians getting rid of another weakness that was in their lineup bat-wise, and giving up another solid reliever of theirs leaving the team. Not getting a lot in return, especially because they traded Spencer Horwitz, then flipped him to Pittsburgh for left-handed pitcher Josh Hartle, right-hander Luis Ortiz, and left-hander Michael Kennedy. Being Spencer Horwitz's due as he played for his own WBC in 2023, I kind of feel bad he got double flipped. But maybe it works out better for him than it did in Toronto. I don't know, we'll see. Right-handed pitcher from Japan, Tomoyuki Sugano, signing a one-year deal for $13 million with the Baltimore Orioles. So not the main left pitcher that we're waiting for to be signed from Japan, but a Japan pitcher that gets signed. Yankees trade catcher Carlos Narvaez to the Boston Red Sox for Elmer Rodriguez Cruz and international bonus pool space. I honestly don't know much about Carlos Narvaez, so I can't really tell you much. But the bigger move that they made since last week's episode, besides Cody Bellinger trade, they got Devin Williams from the Milwaukee Brewers for left-handed pitcher Nestor Cortez Jr. and Caleb Durbin and cash. And honestly, I am thankful he is out of the NL Central. Thank you very much, Yankees. You really got a lockdown good, very good reliever. And yes, he did have a rough moment in the playoffs that pretty much sent Milwaukee home this year. But when he's on his A game, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And I know that very well from when he used to be in the NL Central and the Cubs had to deal with him year on and year in every year. And it was just like, oh boy, here we go. But thank you for taking him out of the NL Central very much. Reliever Jonathan Weisgo resigns with the Yankees on one-year deal. Austin Slater signs with the White Sox, 1 year, $1.75 million. Mike Tauchman signing with the White Sox, 1 year, $1.95 million, flipping sides of Chicago. And the big trade the Cubs made, acquiring a piece, getting outfielder Kyle Tucker from the Astros for third baseman or infielder Isaac Paredes, right-handed pitcher Hayden Wesneski, and infielder Cam Smith. A big package they gave up for Kyle Tucker, who's on just a one-year deal, so they would have to extend him after this year or in the middle of this year. So they are getting a really good underrated piece in the outfielder in Kyle Tucker. And this makes me wonder for two reasons. One, in the fact that they got Isaac Paredes. And two, the fact that Kyle Tucker's gone. I wonder if that means Bregman's going to be leaving as well. And especially now that they got Paredes who could replace Bregman if Bregman goes on to leave. The thing with his trade is like Paredes did not do well in Chicago, and he could end up doing well in Houston, but he did not work out in Chicago. Hayden Wesneski was up and down who they got for Efros. And Cam Smith only just recently drafted, so there's not much to say about Cam Smith at the moment. I mean, he did well in the minors last year, but beyond that, there's not much more to say. So they gave up a good package, but they're getting a very good outfielder. Now, how are they going to manage that outfield? That's a whole nother story, given here the outfield scenario now that Cody Bellinger's gone is Pete Crow Armstrong, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, and Kyle Tucker. So how are you going to make that outfield? Now, Happ can play infield, but he hasn't played infield since like his rookie season or even ever. Actually, while we're on the matter, let's look. See, when's the last time he played infield for a game? Infield in since 2020. Still time back. Like, it's a while. So I guess that could be the move that they move Ian Happ to the infield. But he also has been a Gold Glove winner for 3 straight years in the outfield. So do you really want to do that? But then the other thing is neither PCA or Saya could really play infield either. So it's kind of a mess to see how to figure out how they're going to play it out. So I'm pretty sure Saya can't play hasn't ever played infield, at least with the Cubs. Yeah. We'll see, but very good move for the Cubs. I'm happy they got Kyle Tucker, and can't wait to see if this leads to even more players leaving the Astros, which I really hope for, especially with Bregman being he is Jewish, and I've even met him, been with him in person, face to face. That was a fun time in Houston. Anyways. Getting back on track, the Rays traded left-handed pitcher Jeffrey Springs and left-handed pitcher Jacob Lopez to the Athletics. They're not even the Oakland Athletics anymore, so just the Athletics for the next few years. For right-handed pitcher Joe Boyle, first baseman Will Simpson, right-hander Jacob Walters, and the 2025 competitive balanced round 8 draft pick. This was just kind of a random trade in general concept, but for the A's, it helps them with trying to avoid the grievance penalty. Jacob Webb signs with the Texas Rangers 1 year to $1.25 million. Nathan Eovaldi resigns with Texas 3 years, $75 million. Outfielder Brian De La Cruz signs with the Braves on a 1 year non-guaranteed contract. Outfielder Juan Soto, another big move since last week's episode, signing with the Mets and not the Yankees. 15 years, $765 million. Actually, I realized I might have mentioned that in last week's episode, but if not, I already get it in this week's episode. Infielder Jared Young signing with the Mets on a major league deal, was in the Cubs minor league for years. Carson Kelly signed with the Cubs 2 years, $11.5 million deal. And the last move, since last week's episode, infielder / outfielder Emmanuel Valdez was traded from the Red Sox to the Pirates for right-handed pitcher Joe Vagatsky, which was definitely an odd but interesting move. And that's all MLB headlines since last week's episode of the podcast. So, NFL Week 15 recap. Rams beat the 49ers 12-6. Rams is the first team in NFL history to fail to score a touchdown and have a player with 50-plus catches entering the game in Cooper Kupp, fail to catch a pass, and yet still win the game. Only where the player with 50-plus catches that season coming into the game actually played in the game. Jets beat the Jaguars 31-25. Aaron Rodgers, 41 years, 13 days old, is the second oldest player in NFL history to lead his team in rushing yards in a game. Only Brady, at 44 years, 54 days old, is on September 26, 2021, did so older. The 45 rush yards is also the second oldest player with 40-plus rush yards in a game, behind Doug Flutie's 53 on November 30th, 2003, at the age of 41 years and 38 days old. Bills beat the Lions 48-42. Jared Goff is the first QB in NFL history to throw for 400-plus passing yards, 494 to be exact, 5-plus passing touchdowns, 5 to be exact, and 0 interceptions in a loss. Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. Seahawks in this game had under 250 yards of offense, multiple turnovers, took 7-plus sacks, and had 100-plus yards, 100-plus penalty yards. Last NFL team to do so in a home game was the Jets on October 4th, 1987, during the strike season that season, which means they did not have their main roster. It was replacement players. Eagles beat the Steelers in that season. Eagles beat the Steelers 27-13, their 10th straight win, which is the longest win streak in franchise history. Vikings beat the Bears 30-12. Caleb Williams has gone 8 straight starts without throwing an interception. Bears have lost all 8. No other QB in NFL history has had a streak of more than 5 consecutive starts where he didn't throw a pick, but still lost since QBs were first tracked in 1950. Kirk Cousins last year for Minnesota had 103.8 passer rating. Sam Darnold has at this point a 104.9 mark this year. No other team in NFL history has, in one offseason, lost a qualifying QB with a 100.0 plus passer rating, but added another who duplicated that feat in the next season. And then, general note from this week. 4 different quarterbacks qualifying quarterbacks have a completion percentage of at least 70.0% this season, and Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and Tua Tagovailoa. That would be the most such QBs in a single season in the NFL history. This week in predictions, I had a very good week going 13-3. Overall, I'm 152 and 72. Standings update. I'm pretty sure that's today, right? Yeah, 152 and 72, kind of fitting how they both end with 2. Standings update in the AFC East. The Bills have won the division, so I only cover division winners in those divisions when divisions have been clinched. They are 11-3. In the AFC North, the Steelers in first place at 10-4, followed by the 9-5 Ravens, followed by the 6-8 Bengals. The Browns have been eliminated from the playoffs. In the AFC South, the Texans in first place, having won the division this week at 9-5. In the AFC West, Chiefs are in first place, having won the division at 13-1. In the NFC East, the Eagles in first place, having clinched the playoff spot at 12-2, followed by the 9-5 Commanders, followed by the 6-8 Cowboys. Giants have been eliminated. In the NFC North, the Lions in first place at 12-2, followed by the Vikings, also at 12-2. Both have clinched the playoff spot, followed by the 10-4 Packers, followed by the Bears, who have been eliminated from the playoffs. In the NFC South, the Buccaneers in first place at 8-6, followed by the 7-7 Falcons, followed by the 5-9 Saints, and with the Panthers having been eliminated from the playoffs. And in the NFC West, the Rams in first place, Rams and Seahawks tied for first place at 8-6, followed by the 7-7 Cardinals, followed by the 6-8 49ers. And then for conference standings, Chiefs in first, Bills in second, Steelers in third, Texans and Ravens tied for fourth, Broncos sorry, I had a typo here. Chargers in seventh, the tie for fourth at 9-5, seventh Chargers are 8-6, and then tie for eighth between the Colts, Dolphins, and Bengals, all at 6-8. And then everyone else has been eliminated from the playoffs in the EFC. And in the NFC, Eagles in first, or Lions in first, Eagles in second, Buccaneers in third, Rams in fourth, Vikings in fifth, Packers in sixth, Commanders in seventh, Seahawks in eighth, Falcons and Cardinals tied for ninth, 49ers and Cowboys tied for 11th, and Saints at 13th. And everyone else has been eliminated from the playoffs. And for week 16 predictions, Thursday night football, Broncos at Chargers. I have at 8:15. I have the Chargers. Saturday football, Texans at Chiefs at 1 p.m. on NBC. I have the Peacock. I have the Chiefs. Steelers at Ravens 4:30 on Fox. I have the Ravens. Sunday football, Browns at Bengals 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Bengals. Giants and Falcons 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Falcons. The Lions at Bears 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Lions. Titans at Colts 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Colts. Rams at Jets 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Rams. Eagles at Commanders 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Eagles. Cardinals at Panthers 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Cardinals. Vikings at Seahawks 4:05 on Fox. I have the Vikings. Patriots at Bills 4:25 on CBS. I have the Bills. Jaguars at Raiders 4:25 on CBS. I have the Jaguars. 49ers at Vikings Dolphins 4:25 on CBS. I have the 49ers. Sunday night football, Buccaneers at Cowboys 8:20. I have the Buccaneers, and Monday Night Football, Packers hosting the Saints at 8:15. I have the Packers. That's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast. Leave a review and notification so when I go live and or post a new video. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a notification button so notified when I go live and or post or post a new video. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you next week's episode 153. Bye bye.